Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Today is November 1st, 2024. 1st of November. We're in November, y'all. I hope everyone had a awesome Halloween. Yesterday, I was off, and me and Sammy, when she got off work, we ended up carving some pumpkins. We always carve pumpkins every year. I put out a little short if you're interested in seeing what we carved. I carved a heartogram because I'm a huge fan of the band Him. Yeah, I know. Everyone make fun of me in the comments. Sorry, I love Him, dude. I think their music's great. I got hooked on them when I was younger, I think in middle school, I got hooked on Him. I was a skater, and my favorite skater was Bam Margera, and I used to see the heartogram everywhere, and finally someone let me borrow an album of Him. I think it was Funeral of Hearts. It was just a black CD with just the heartogram, and dude, I listened to it, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. To this day, I still listen to Him. And then Sammy, her pumpkin, I don't remember what, she was looking through stencils. She hadn't picked one out yet. We did it on the front porch, and, her mom was like, I told you, her mom's kooky, man. I do love her mom. I rewatched my last episode just talking about her mental health. And I might have come off a little hard, I do love her, man, and I'm gonna take care of her the best that I can. But like I said, I swear she has early signs of dementia or Alzheimer's. She did a lot of pharmaceuticals that were prescribed to her, but early on in her life, when it was super experimental. I mean, it's still experimental, but I'm talking lithium. She lost her teeth to lithium. She was on heavy shit, dude. And I don't know, man, she's kooky. She's mentally ill, and she's showing some signs of cognitive abilities being, having trouble with that. I'm not going to rehash it, but, she came out and she's like, why don't you do an upside down face? And I was like, I just started laughing. I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome. So Sammy's like, yeah, I'll do it. So Sammy's pumpkin is an upside down face. So go check it out. I put out a little short if you want to go look at our pumpkins. But let's get on with the show. Another thing though, I just wanted to say, and it's conspiracy. We're going to cover conspiracy theories today. Dude, I just got finished. I didn't finish the video, but just watching Jacob Israel, man. He's teeing off again, dude. I've been a fan of Jacob Israel for years, man. And don't go and attack him or nothing. Which my fan base is really cool. They don't seem to be they don't swarm people. They're all cool up here, and they all got good hearts, you guys. But dude, it's I feel like every other video he puts out now, he's teeing off on someone. He was teeing off on Russell Brand. He tees off on Alex Jones. Now his newest target is Tucker Carlson. He's teeing off on Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, I guess, had a demonic experience, which I'm going to look into, because we cover that type of shit on this channel, and I'm highly interested. I had a weird experience. I just label it as a demonic experience. It's kind of a catch-all. I don't know if it was a jinn. I don't know if it was an archon. I don't know what it was. I just say it was a demon just because it's easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Do I believe it's a demon? I don't know. I don't know what I had an experience with. So I know that shit is real, But I don't know. He's just kind of... And it's really weird, his latest video, he's trying to say that demons are just thoughts or something. I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I still have to finish the video, but I'm what are you saying? Like, you don't believe in demons, you know? But anyways, let's get on. Today we're just gonna cover some conspiracies. Let's get on with the first story. Well, since it's fresh on my head, I listened to Tinfoil Hat. It's my favorite conspiracy podcast, Sam Tripoli. Go check it out. It's the best conspiracy podcast ever. Sorry, I don't care. It is. Challenge me. Hit me up in the comments if you think there's a better one. But in my opinion, Tinfoil Hat is the best conspiracy podcast ever. It actually inspired me to create this podcast. I'm nowhere near as funny as Sam Tripoli, but if I'm even funny at all. I don't know. Do you guys think I'm funny? I think I'm funny sometimes. I come in with zingers every now and then. I have a really weird sense of humor, though. Like, I've actually had people comment in my comment section, like, what the fuck did I just watch? Because, like, I was just in one of those rare, goofy-ass moods. I get in goofy fucking moods, is what happens. And I say just goofy, off-the-wall shit, and I think it throws people off. But he has Eddie Bravo on tonight, which is pretty cool. And they were talking about... Basically, they were talking about how it was easier to prop up, like, movie stars and musicians back in the day, pre-internet. Because unless you were buying cassettes and CDs of, like, obscure bands and shit, first of all, you'd have to have money for that. Oh, that went down the wrong tube. Second off, it's harder to find. You have to go to, like I used to go to, it was hard for me to find obscure music, but I had like a hookup, in high school, because, we had internet, but it was just like a really old shitty computer upstairs. And we never honestly really used it that much. We were always too busy. I had fun in high school. I was either, like, when I was younger, I was either skateboarding or playing video games. I was always out. Like, our generation is totally different from this generation. But, I was always out hanging out with friends and shit. I didn't like... It's so sad to me, this generation, and I know I sound like an old man, but, like, this generation is so glued to phones and, just being home, playing video games, like, not dating, not hanging out, like, and I know it's probably weird, someone's probably like, what, you want kids to date? Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but I do want, high school kids and middle school kids to date. That's part of life, I know parents are super protective of kids and shit, and they're still technically children, but it's like, they need to experience life. And it's happening even with older generation, like older people who are in the dating scene and shit. Everyone, like, men and women are not getting together anymore. There's like a war going on between men and women. Like, I'm so grateful every day I think about it, and I'm so grateful I'm fucking married to an awesome person who's my best friend. I'm so fucking lucky for that. And trust me, like, there's a fear in my head that I could fuck it all up and lose her, anyways, I had to, like, I was a punk, so honestly, pats on back, not stroking my ego, but I never really fell into the mainstream of music. I mean, yes, I liked classic bands like Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix. I loved shit like that, but I was into, like, punk rock, and it was hard as fuck to find, I eventually got into going to the next town over, Danville, and bought a lot of my CDs, back when CDs were a big thing, of, like, Danzig, Misfits, Sex Pistols, the shit that I wanted to listen to that you can't find on the radio. But the point he was making was, people worshipped actors and actresses and musicians because that's all they were fed. There was no internet. So you ended up liking whoever was played on the radio. sadly, most people, or whatever movies are out. Now, in this time period, it's so much easier to find what you want. And this does get conspiratorial. Just give me a second. I'm going to weave it together. It's so much easier to find what you want that's obscure. Like, you can find like really good cult classic movies because we can order anything from eBay. We can find anything on eBay. We can get whatever the fuck we want now. So if I want to go watch Last House on the Left, just as a random example, I can go on eBay and buy the DVD. I can go on the internet and download it. The other day I watched the movie The Car. People were talking about The Car. I went and watched it. I found it, did a 1-day rental, watched it, you know. You ain't even got to leave your house. You don't have to go to a movie store. You don't have to be forced to watch what's on TV. Does anyone even watch TV? Hit me up in the comments, like, and I'm not going to make fun of you, but if you actually pay for like cable or satellite or something, or even if you just watch antenna, like my mother-in-law watches antenna. And the only thing she watches is this channel called Me TV, and it's literally reruns of old shows. Like in the mornings, Looney Tunes will be on TV. I'll come in the door and I can hear, you know, Looney Tunes sound effects. Three Stooges is on there. MASH. Like old shit. That's all she watches is old shit. So, I mean, it kind of works for her because she's an older woman. And she just watches old shows that she's seen a billion times. And in a way, she's so burnt out that she forgets that she's seen it. And she's like, oh, I don't remember this episode. And me and Sammy are looking at her like, you've watched this episode like a billion times. I had the same problem, though. I can watch a movie over and over and over again because where I've done so many drugs in the past, like, it's almost like watching a brand new movie. It's kind of cool in a way because I don't get worn out on shit, but it drives my wife nuts. Like, she'll go nuts on me because it's like, dude, you're watching the same movies over and over and over again. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I miss stuff. She's like, honey, you're not missing stuff. You're just a burnout. But, he made a comment, though. He said, like, everyone listened to the same thing at the same time. And you guys know me. I'm very into the woo-woo and stuff. I was like, immediately when he said that, I went, what a loosh grab. And I was in a comment section earlier this week. I have something else I want to talk about comment sections. I've been talking in comment sections. I do it all the time because it's a way for me to try to get my podcast out there, for one. And two, it helps if I want to do interviews with people. So I was in a comment section and somebody, it wasn't even me, somebody else had mentioned Loosh. And this guy was like, what is Loosh? You know? And I hadn't heard the word until I was listening. I mean, like I said, I'm a huge fan of Tinfoil Hat, and Sam talks about Loosh all the time. That there are these like archons, these interdimensional beings who steal our Loosh. Earth is kind of like a soul trap. It's basically Gnosticism. But I commented back to the person. I said, okay, the best way to describe Loosh, I think, honestly, within this community, there are so many people who argue about, they're both, everyone, like I've seen this so many times, especially like here's an example. Let's use the ufology community. I see this a lot with the ufology community. You have like ancient astronaut theorist, which is like similar to the ufology community. It's a branch from it. And you have like the theory that these fallen angels, or like fallen angels are aliens, or aliens are fallen angels / lowercase gods. And people will sit there and argue with each other. And I'm like, I finally had to say one day to a buddy of mine, he used to be really big into ufology, and now he's a flat earther. He rededicated his life to Jesus Christ, which is cool. I mean, I think it's dumb, but I'm not going to say that to his face. The only thing I care about is if your religion makes you a better person and makes you happy and happier and makes your life more functioning. That's the only thing I care about at the end of the day. Do I think it's stupid? Yeah, but I'm not going to like go up to you and be like, oh, you're a Christian? You're a fucking idiot. That's just rude. But me and a friend were talking about aliens, and he just butts in and he's like, I think they're fallen angels. And I'm like, my buddy, he was like, fallen angels are aliens. And he goes, no, they're not. And he goes, yeah, they are. Alien simply means something that is foreign. It's like years ago there was a Mandela effect of aliens in the Bible. And people took it with the actual definition of, oh my God, there's aliens in the Bible, that they're talking about little green men, you know? And it's like, no, they're not talking about little green men. Here's a good example. The border. There are illegal aliens jumping over the border. That doesn't mean they're little green slimy men who landed from saucers. Alien means foreign. Extraterrestrial. You know, I was explaining this to him, that extraterrestrials can be real. Extraterrestrial, if you break down the word, means extra territory. And people automatically assume extraterrestrial means space. Yes, that's extra territory. That's a territory outside of Earth. You can believe in extraterrestrials and be a flat earther. It's very rare. I've run into very slim amounts of flat earthers who actually believe in like extraterrestrials. But from my understanding, because I've listened to a lot of flat earth podcasts, I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a round earther. I'm agnostic. I don't know what the fuck we're on, dude. I kind of wonder if we're just in a realm or a simulation, or I don't know. I have no fucking clue. Or this could all be a dream, you know. Could be a hallucination. I could be in a padded room right now and all of this could just be a hallucination. Just saying, have you ever thought about that one? That one's a little freaky. Are you in a padded room with a straitjacket right now? And this is all a hallucination? And the phone you're holding right now and me, like, doing this, I'm actually your nurse giving you medication. And all of this is in your head. So I'm talking to you, but I'm actually saying, it's going to be okay. Shh, calm down. We're going to give you a shot, you know? And I'm in a white lab coat. But in your head, I look like I'm on your phone talking to you from my car. Think about that one. Where was I going? Oh. Extra territory. We could be on this little disc and there could be these lands inside. And past the ice wall, there's extra territories. And that could be where the extraterrestrial are coming from with their craft. It could be the elites living on the other side of the ice wall where there's other lands, and they could just own those other lands and live there and have amazing technology. It could be our globe could be like just a cell block within a huge, long, expansive flat plane, and the craft that we see are from other territories. So extraterrestrial. But people get so caught up on terms. Loosh, to me, I told the person, I said, Loosh to me would be like spirit energy. Chi. Like auras. I think there are multiple names. We are all talking about the same shit sometimes. just using different terms. And I think that people get too distracted with, no, aliens are demons, you know. Well, to me, you could call a negative, I don't know. I just think we argue too much. We're all talking about the same thing, and we're all fighting against the same thing. We're fighting, at the end of the day, we're all decently good people, most of us, and we're fighting against evil. And I think sometimes that, like, we use different terms. I think this has to do with the Tower of Babel, that our tongue, our languages are scattered. And because me and my wife will have arguments sometimes, and we're literally talking about the same thing, but we're saying it in a different way. And I have to, like, I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, dude, I'm agreeing with you. I am agreeing with you. No, you're not. And I'm like, you're saying this, right? Well, yeah, I guess I am. But the way you're saying it, I'm not going to change the way I'm saying it. We're agreeing. But language, man. Tower of Babel. It all goes back to the Tower of Babel. That's what Loosh is to me. Spirit energy, chi, your soul energy, your kundalini, your chakras, your spirit energy, your life force, your auras. It's all the same shit, dude. Now, I guess the point I was making was, I had said, that is insane when you think about it, of like, everyone was singing the same song at the same time. Talk about a mass, like, ceremony. Especially, like, if the song is negative, like, I don't know, like a virgin touched for the very first time. It's not really a bad song. It's risque, you know, but you're putting that energy of those lyrics in that song, and everyone's singing it at the same time. It's almost like a mass ceremony with the radio waves. It is insane to me. I mean, we already know the elites control music. We already know, like, Tavistock Institute. I just never had thought about that like, when you're playing that song, everyone's listening to the same song at the same time. Everyone's singing to it. Everyone's dancing to it. Everyone's celebrating that artist, that idol. They call them idols for a reason. They call them stars for a reason. Fallen stars, fallen angels. Music, radio play is a mass ceremony. And it just clicked. I was like, what a fucking Loosh grab. Because I know, like, people get into, like, these famous songs, and, like, everyone's singing the song at the same time. Everyone's dancing to the same song at the same time. Years ago, dude, there was this stupid Kid Rock song. I think it was Kid Rock and Shania Twain. I may have talked about it on here, but, dude, talk about a Loosh grab of, like, the elites and or archons, if you believe in archons. Hell, even if you believe in the devil. Talk about a Loosh grab of sucking everyone's Loosh at the same time, and we're offering it up. There was this stupid song, I put your picture away, sat down and cried today. It was the first time that I'd ever had my heart, like, truly broken from a girl. Her name was Sarah. It killed me. It killed me. Even though I'm, like, 33 years old, like, obviously I'm over it, you know, but, like, thinking back, I'm like, dude, that killed me, man. That was my first. Do you guys remember your first heartbreak? This was high school. I mean, I was madly in love with this girl. Like, you could have pointed a gun at her and I would have stepped in the way in high school and, like, kill me instead, you know. And that stupid song was playing. I was working at a pizza shop at the time. Ironically enough, the same company. My wife worked at the same pizza shop I worked at when I was, like, 16 years old. It's funny and weird how life works in strange and mysterious ways. But like every time that song would come on, like I would be sitting there making pizzas like crying, because they would put on the fucking country station and that song would come on like literally like once an hour. I was going through this horrible heartbreak. I mean, dude, it got to the point my sister-in-law, like after like 6 months, was like, Abe, you have to move on. I was depressed like half a year later, dude. And I'll never forget that fucking song, that summer, winter, whatever, that year when that song was playing over and over and over and over and over again. And it was like just loosh grabbing from me, like from my tears, from my sorrow. And thinking about it now with that mindset that radio songs, radio hits were loosh grabbing, I wonder how many people, especially in Kentucky, especially people who are fans of country, because I would like to see a statistic of how many people who are fans of country have depression issues. Because, dude, I cannot be the only one that song was loosh grabbing from during that time period. Like, there had to have been like other rednecks and like people who were sad and going through breakups or divorces at that time that they were just loosh grabbing. And it was a hit. That song was a hit. Pretty sure it was Kid Rock and Shania Twain, so you guys know how big they are. But I don't know, man. I just was sitting there and I was like, dude, that is a fucking loosh grab. Radio hits are loosh grabs. I didn't think I would go this long on just that one subject. I thought I was going to have time to hit more conspiracies, but that's fine. I have lots of bullets in the chamber for episodes, man. So you could even go one step further. You know what else would be a crazy-ass loosh grab? Miss McGillicuddy sent me a video of it, and I had already seen this video years ago. Do you guys remember when they would play the national anthem? Back when there was 3 channels on TV, they would play the national anthem at midnight, I believe, every night to close out, like, TV. TV used to shut off at midnight. There was no 24-hour TV. Like, at midnight, that's it. All the programming is done for the day. And they would play the national anthem. Someone actually found the actual original national anthem footage back when they would close out with the national anthem on television and slowed it down. There are subliminal messages in the actual lyrics because it's almost like a sing-along karaoke. You can find the video on YouTube. But I was even thinking about that, of like on the level of loosh grabbing. The national anthem at midnight, which is a very witching hour. Every night, everyone, whoever's still up at that witching hour is all putting their hand over their heart, standing up in their living room, singing the national anthem. Everyone's singing the national anthem at the same time all over the United States. And getting this subliminal message of the lyrics shifting and changing, and their subliminal mind is taking it in, but they're not catching it with their eyes. Talk about a loosh grab. I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about loosh grabs and stuff. But anyways, we'll wrap it up there. I do want to say a little bit more about the channel. I am talking to someone in a comment section. I told them I want to interview them. I'm going to tell them I'm waiting for them to hit me back, see if they comment back if they're interested. I'm going to tell them to email me and stuff. Apparently they had like poltergeist experiences. They would see objects float, move around, stuff falling over. And this was really weird. They were saying that their light bulbs on their ceilings would fill with water and drip water. To me, it sounds like a poltergeist. I don't think we have ever actually done specifically like a poltergeist episode on this channel. And we've covered a shit ton of paranormal, but I don't think we've actually specifically just covered poltergeist. So that would be pretty cool. It'd be something new for the channel. It'd be a cool interview. Hopefully it turns out. But please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you all enjoyed. God bless.